Hey good people, welcome back to Money's Book List. So your girl is back. Like I said, cute little headband wigs. Like I'm a little shoulder out. So we are here to do my faves. So we're gonna talk about my favorite cozy murder mysteries, thrillers, cookbooks, all of that good stuff, and then some other fave stuff that's happened since the last time you saw me, which was in May. I know. I got my notes on the good iPad. So, yeah. So let's get started. So let's start with my new favorite cozy murder mystery author and book series. So the author of this series, her name is Alexa Gordon, and she writes a series called the Gethsemane Brown series. Now, I enjoy this series because one, I'm not gonna front, the main character is a black woman who is brilliant in her field and is solving murders. Okay, so here we go. The series has 5 books right now. I think Alexa Gordon is known for writing romance. Actually, I don't know quite what she writes outside of this series. I found this series because I was doing for, I think it was Murder Mystery March. I was trying to focus on women of color authors, and I found Alexa, and this series is amazing. There's 5 books in the series. I don't know if there'll be a 6th book. I've read 4 of the 5. I've been trying not to read the 5th book because 1, I don't want to know if the series ends with the 5th book, and 2, I don't want to wait if there's a cliffhanger. I don't want to wait a very long time for the next book, but I'm going to have to read it because I have to. So just to give you a quick premise of the series, again, Gethsemane Brown is a violinist / conductor, and she moved to Ireland to become this huge conductor for some symphony. I don't remember the symphony she was going to. Well, it fell through, and so she decided that she couldn't go back to, I think she's from Virginia. She has a southern accent, so I guess she's from the South. I want to say she's from Virginia. And so instead of going back to Virginia as a failure, she decided to stay in Ireland in this very, very small town. And so she decided to stay there and become the music teacher at an all-boys school for their orchestra. Yeah, for their orchestra. And so in the first book you meet her, she moves into this lighthouse, and it's like a cottage in a lighthouse in this very small town, and it's the house of one of her favorite composers, one of her favorite composers, who was who they said was a suicide murder, like he had murdered his wife and then he had killed himself, and she never believed he did it, but everything's pointed to him doing it. And so she sets out to, actually she doesn't set out to do anything except become the orchestra teacher, the music teacher / orchestra conductor for the school. And when she moves into this house, she finds out that it's haunted by him, and his name is Jameson. And Jameson is there, and he is like, he's a mess, okay? He is a mess. So she finds out that the house is haunted, and he's haunting the house because his soul cannot be put to rest, because guess what? He didn't do it. So she sets out to set the record straight to say he didn't do it. And she can see him. She's the only person outside of a few kids and this guy who rarely speaks. She can see him, and it's interesting how she can see the ghost of Jameson. I think it's because she can see him in places that existed when he was living. So if he had visited a place when he was living, he can go there. Like, he can go there with her. If there's a place that he'd never visited before or didn't exist when he was alive, then he can't go into that place. So that's interesting. But I like it because she started off that mystery and just moved on from there. I like that Gethsemane is an American black woman who is like out here like just solving murders in Ireland because she's badass violinist, and they all love her, and she's cool, and I just like it. It's a very cozy murder mystery feel. I told oh my gosh, intentionally bookish, that it reminds me a lot of Jessica Fletcher, and everything from, they both ride bikes, they both teachers. Okay, Jessica was a retired teacher, but Gethsemane is a current music teacher. Both like these women who are at the height of their careers when you meet them. When I say height, I mean they're really good in their careers. Well known around the world. Both characters well known, and they solve murders. Unfortunately, Jessica doesn't see ghosts and stuff, but yeah, it's quite interesting. I like the series. It is the closest that I've come to. It's the closest series for me to Murder, She Wrote that's ever been put out. I have not come to one where I feel like this could be Jessica Fletcher. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And she's a beginning and end for me when it comes to murder mysteries. Alright, new favorite thrillers. Okay, so alright, so my best friend's mom suggested a book for us for our book club, and it was called The Curse, and it's by Heather Graham. I know she has a new married name because she's married, but when she first started out writing, her name was Heather Graham. Let me tell you, this book series is amazing. Fun fact, we started with book 7 because we didn't know it was book 7, and it was about a murder in Key West. And yeah, we started out in book 7. I didn't know that there's a total of like 35 of these books. And the way they go, fun fact again, there's ghosts and stuff. The difference between murder mystery and thriller is that murder mystery, usually the murders happen kind of like if it was a TV show, it'd be off screen. You never actually see the person getting murdered. You never actually have to any type of murder. If there's more than one murder in a murder mystery, it is off screen, if you will. Whereas thrillers, usually they start off with the murder. You're witnessing the murder. You may not know who the killer is, but you're still witnessing the murder. It can be a little gruesome. There can be sex. There can be cussing, and it includes the violence of murder. Whereas murder mysteries, cozy murder mysteries, hence cozy, they don't include the violence of murder. It gives you the I always say it's the equivalent of when they imply two people had sex in the movie. It fades to black, and then they just wake up the next morning. One's in the shower, the other one's brushing their teeth. That's how I feel about murder mysteries when it comes to murder. It's like you just saw the person get murdered. The person just got murdered. So that's why I want to say that, because yes, the next series is about a murder or a couple of murders, but this thriller series includes again the crappiness about murder. It includes the violence of murder, and this series is interesting because it's centered around these agents who were all put together by this one guy. His name, I can't remember his last name, but his first name is Adam, and Alex, I'm saying it wrong. It's Adam. Adam is this elderly gentleman who is kind of wealthy, has connections, has so much connections that the FBI agrees to allow him to create a group of investigators who investigate things that aren't necessarily normal, kind of like an X-Files, if you will, but it's not necessarily aliens. It's more of spirits and all that kind of stuff. So yes, the series is called The Crew of Hunters. It is by Heather Graham. We started reading book 7 as our book club, and these books were written in such a way that, again, we started in book 7 and we didn't know about any of the other books. And we were able to read book 7 as a standalone book, and it was perfect. But to me, I went back and read the first two books. Yeah, the first two books. The interesting thing about this series of books is that they're broken up into three different crews. The first crew was led by this gentleman's name, Jackson Crew, and that's how they got the name, the Crew of Hunters. So yeah, so they start off that way, and then I think every set of 5 you get a new crew, and I think there's 3 crews. It would be interesting if they ever like cross over. I don't know yet, but I am loving it. I'm loving all of it. I'm loving the crew that they put together, and they're all from different backgrounds. Like one was like a police officer, one was a nurse, one was like these crews that are put together are so unique and diverse. So I love the series. Again, it's called The Crew of Hunters by Heather Graham, and I'm here for it. All right.